Welcome to Empyrean Wilds, a Cypher system-based TTRPG. I am Evie, the disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any, and I am the GM for this fine of disastrous group. Now I see the little thing moving.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's go back in and start back again with Matt. Sorry.
Okay.
Do it again.
Take two.
Yeah, I'm Matt, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Fang Wu, he, they pronouns. The risk-taking warrior who fights with panache and slowly moves through walls.
All right. Beautiful. Wonderful. Joel.
Hello again. I am Joel. I use any pronouns. I'm going to be playing Val Mistforge, who uses she, her pronouns, and is a feeling speaker who rises from the depths and shepherd spirits, whatever that means. Ooh, but again.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, times two.
Or joke twice.
Maggie.
I am Maggie. I use they, she pronouns. I'm playing Sybil, who uses she, her pronouns. Sybil is an impulsive adept who is a walking dream and sees beyond.
And Alina.
Hey everybody, I am Alina, I am they, them, and I will be playing Kale, who is also they, them, and they are an empathic explorer who helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon.
Wonderful, wonderful. And last but not least, Amanda.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'll be playing Varen Lek using she, her pronouns as well. The weird adept who dances with dark matter and siphons power.
Yeah.
That's so menacing.
I love it. I'm here for this.
All of you are kind of menacing. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
To little old me, I don't think so. I don't think that's true.
All right,
I don't know what I've ever done that is menacing at all, ever.
Killed a man.
in cold blood.
We've all done that. You killed a
Who
party
hasn't?
member.
Shut up.
Anyway, this game runs every other week on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. We are currently in the North American continent, so that's what we base our timing off of. Barring potential interruptions due to scheduling mishaps and or confusion, because we have at least one person that regularly does go to cons. So if
It's
you
me.
yeah, if you are at conventions where Alina's stuff is, go by and visit, say hi. As we simulcast, also don't forget to follow if you're watching via Twitch. Join the realm if you are watching on Moonbeam. We are in Moonbeam's stream at Monty Cook's The Anywhere Door. And if you are watching this later via YouTube, like, subscribe so that you can be notified of any new postings or when we go live. You may also notice from our overlay that Alter Deco Archives is raising funds for the Trans Women of Color Collective. TWOCC has a mission to uplift the narratives, leadership, and lived experiences of trans and gender non-conforming people of color while building towards the collective liberation of all oppressed people. As a reminder, over 800 anti-trans bills have been proposed across the country just this year, and we are just barely into April. You can check out their full site from the link that will be in chat or description, or I will add it soon to Moonbeam. Sorry, there's not quite as many capabilities there. TWOCC. And check them out. You can donate directly, or you can scan the QR code to donate through our Tiltify campaign. AEA and its affiliates receive no portion of the funds being raised, so spread the word and donate if you can. With all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and roll into focusing on today's session. As a content warning, we at the Archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence and gore, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. Last time we were missing a couple of our players, and thus their characters had wandered off to do their own thing, while the erstwhile Captain Bal was left with two new crew members that she was less than enthusiastic about, while determining their potential roles on the ship, and what plans they may propose, we'll call it, for the papers that had been found on one of the thugs in town. They learned that, yes, there is weirdness across the various locations that everyone is from. Not super common animal parts, very, very uncommon, but obviously more than just in Ison Bridge, but all across. Weird stuff, weird things were happening to and around people for the past several months, and to a lesser extent for the past several years. But generally speaking, they kind of discovered that they themselves were among the weirdest that they had encountered. So it's a strange occurrence, but not completely unique. There was the proposal to fake their deaths to get the reward money, which I don't think Fang and Varen are fully giving up on yet, but they have not managed to convince Bal. Bal also made an attempt to view through their sibling Ace's eyes and saw a strange, not quite ritual of some kind being performed with placing a variety of what they could only assume were artifacts together into a container device. They weren't sure. at the end of which it seemed to complete, and then the vision cut. No idea what it means, but it has created a major concern for Bal, who is a little worried and possibly panicking now. And realizing that there were others that may be at risk from these prices that are now on the 3 original parties' heads, made an attempt to reach back out to the Council in Icenbridge and the communications stone that is kept in the Keenly residence. And Mama Ada was not around, so the call got picked up by young sibling Vera, who had some words, some very choice words, for Bal, because Bal is obviously the reason that Sybil can't be around anymore. And there was no convincing her otherwise. But about then is where that finished off. A little bit of conversation thereafter. And we are coming in with what Kale and Sybil actually have been up to. The ship had taken off. You guys were not fully resupplied, but somewhat resupplied with your new little friends up on deck with Bal, and they're taken care of. Kale, I think you said that you had something that you wanted to discuss with Sybil.
I did. So as we're introducing the new crewmates to Bal and letting her sort them out, like, Sybil, we never did get to go on that picnic, because we had to run from town as we usually do. But I have this, and I'll pull out a little pouch with some like lovely smelling herbs, and a little packet that says like facial spa.
Yeah, we went to the local Sephora and
we sure did. We went to Lush.
We went to Lush and we got
stuff.
Face mask supplies.
Hey,
and I was like,
hey, you get what you can.
Had been hoping to use these at like a spring or something, but needs must. Do you want to leave Bal to whatever she's doing?
Sure. Yeah, she looks busy.
Yeah. Where's good?
Where's she not gonna check is the question.
We could
Yeah.
we could go on watch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Bal, we're gonna go on watch. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, she definitely heard us.
Yeah. Wonderful. Let's go. And we'll climb up to the crow's nest.
There. And
All
that's
right.
where we've been.
All right.
And you've like taken pillows and stuff up there, you said, or like made it cozy?
I feel like
Yeah.
Sybil 100% has gone up here as like.
Oh yeah. Welcome.
There's
Rev.
just a book at the corner.
Yeah, welcome, Rev. So there is someone usually posted up there to just kind of keep an eye out on things, but seeing you guys coming, and I would anticipate that you have done this before, especially Sybil, keeping the comfy items up there. They have previously just kind of stacked it neatly into one corner of the crow's nest, and they see you coming, and there's the awkward moment of like trying to get around each other as they just promptly go, okay, I'm going down, I'm getting out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they could have joined us.
They could have.
It's
I don't
not
know.
big enough for 3.
Bal might frown on people doing this sort of thing on duty, but we can get away with it, you and I.
Yeah, I don't think we work for her. So
It's unclear.
I mean, have you ever gotten paid?
No, but also she lets me sleep on deck. And I get muffins.
That's
Not that
true.
I
We do
need
get
to eat them, but they are
fed.
lovely.
You don't need to get fed though.
No, but they are very tasty.
We should figure that out at some point, actually. Now that I think about it.
I've decided that I don't much care about accumulating wealth. At least not in that way.
That's fair. I don't think I do either. It's not very interesting and it tends to cause a lot of problems. But you do tend to need it for things. Sybil's
Sometimes.
like taking the face mask supplies and is just opening like different pouches and is like, do you know actually how we use?
Oh, yes, just a moment. I need to heat some water.
Mm.
Pico, and I'll take my little teapot off of my belt.
Hi. Yeah. What? Hello.
Hi. Would you like to continue sleeping? Or would you want to join us for a little bit of a spa day?
I like spas. I think it's
All right, we don't
been a while.
have water
The last
because
time
we're up
we
in
were
the air.
the last time we were at a spa, I
Oh,
had
that was
just
the
woken
first
up.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, I had just
Yeah.
woken
that's
up.
why you scared the
and-
life out of me.
Yeah, you are you going to run again?
No. No, we're several stories in the air, so
Yeah,
I
we
don't think
kinda
I'm going
can't.
anywhere.
Okay.
Also, I know that you are alive now, which I did not previously.
I know that you
Yeah,
are alive.
I
Is so
guess
rough.
that can be concerning sometimes when something just kind of pops up. Yeah, so I can do that.
Okay. If you don't mind heating some water, I'll make the face masks for us.
Okay.
And we'll spend a little time just like getting the mud masks together and sitting and making small talk up in the and like getting it comfy.
Oh yeah,
We're just like looking over the side at. I assume you guys are just on the deck.
yeah.
just like
There was originally it was so this is fairly early into it, so it's probably you see Varen and Fang getting along very well. They're chatting and looking over papers, and they seem to be getting along really, really well. They're a little bit forward on the deck, and Bal is still over at the aft and like talking to the helmsman about where you guys are going.
We'll peek in every once in a while. Be like, oh, it looks like they're doing fine. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, they're doing just fine. They're all doing their stuff, and the newbies are getting along.
That's great. So we'll, mud mask,
having a good time.
sit back on some pillows. I'll add a little mud to Pico. It doesn't help because he's made of metal, but
Yeah, it just
it's nice
kind
to
of
be
slides
included.
off a little bit. It gets stuck in all the little carvings or crevices, though.
Like, I'll clean that later, but it's probably good for your pores? I don't know.
Go have pores.
I
I don't.
Metal is porous sometimes, to varying degrees.
You know, that's true. Okay. All right. This is nice.
So-
We should do this more.
We very much should. It has been a very stressful several months.
True. Yeah. That is a very big understatement. Yeah.
The
How
last
are
couple
you
of
doing
months
with all
haven't
of
been
this?
too bad. It's mostly been traveling.
Oh, I think I'm okay now. I've been. I don't know. The treason was a hard thing to get over, but once
Often is.
I don't know. Once I decided it wasn't really that bad of a thing, I don't know. You can kind of do anything as long as you decide that it's not that bad.
I mean, morally, we did the right thing. It's definitely better for a majority of people that
Yeah,
the city
nothing.
did not fall under Arleness's control.
No, and it turned out okay. I mean, I would do some things different probably if we did it again, but also I don't really have any desire to do it again, and I feel I'm
No, we were
content.
also moments away from dying and extremely stressed the entire time. So
It was yeah.
mistakes were definitely made.
How were you dealing with stuff?
Honestly, I am doing better than I have for some years. I seem to be flourishing.
You do. You do. Oh.
It's wonderful how knowing that at any moment you could become 9 feet long and bite through swords does for your self-confidence.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I don't know, there's something really fun about being able to just kind of like zip around the place. Like I don't know.
And you don't have to be worried about being captured at any point. I don't know that there is Any prison
Yeah.
that could hold you.
Well, not for very long. Probably.
No.
Probably.
Well-
I don't. We could test that. Probably don't want to. This is nice. Prison sounds rough. We are wanted again, though. Should we deal with that?
At a later date, yes, we do need to have a discussion about that. But we deserve a little time off from time to time to keep ourselves healthy and stable. We've been through a period of upheaval,
Agreed.
and it is good for one's mental well-being to take a little time.
I feel like we should probably invite Ball to this one of the.
Yes,
She needs to chill.
she does. I've been trying to encourage that, privately and in ways that do not involve a bottle.
True.
But
I can feel her speaking somewhere. Feel like she's mad at us.
we'll worry about that later.
And when you look over the side of the crow's nest again, you can see that Belle has walked forward. Corey still back there a little bit, continuing to check on what's going on with your heading, and is talking with Varen and Fang. And you're not sure what it is, but you can just see the irritation. Which is kind of common for Belle.
Yeah, that looks normal.
She's gonna give herself an ulcer.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, I feel like she's gotten more stressed.
I feel so too. And a little bit more on edge.
Yeah, you would think that. I mean, we got everything sorted. Also, she's a sitting council member now. Well, kind of sitting council member, and she got a ship.
Keep in mind, though, her entire purpose in life before was to find Ace. And then we found Ace, and that didn't precisely go well.
Yeah, they're
And
fucking
now,
asshole.
yes, they're awful. But now, obviously, they have the stress of being a council member, and the stress of running a ship, and the stress of being wanted. I think she needs to relax. Maybe
I
there's
don't-
something we could do to take on more.
I don't know that. Oh, you mean actually work?
I wouldn't go that far.
That's fair. No, I wouldn't either. But I mean, I don't think that she's gonna relax unless we physically remove her from this boat. She's.
Yes.
You said that you had a plan.
Why would I have a plan?
You typically do.
It's never
You
suited us before.
frequently have plans.
They're often bad.
So are mine.
Well, I must admit, there is sort of a reason that I've been adopting people and asking them onto the ship, especially if they're, suitably weird.
Okay.
It just seems that we're unusual, us three.
Yeah.
Even in Ice Bridge, with a variety of powers, there were not very many people around who had our level of magic. And I had thought at the time that was because we were ahead of the curve, right? We spent most of the transition in the depths of the earth where the magic was welling up. We even ate quite a lot of it. Maybe not advisable, but we did.
Sure. But you
And
think that we're
so-
comparatively just actually.
We might be. I haven't seen a lot of people except for those two in our travels that would compare.
No, you're not wrong. And
And I
Fang
thought-
can do what I can do. I mean, do
Yes.
a little bit. And so.
And with
yeah.
more training, who knows? So I just thought, having us all together is wise. Maybe there's a reason for it. I feel I don't want to ruin our lovely spa day. We're having such a relaxing time, but
But.
all right. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Sybil. This wasn't just an excuse to have a lovely time together. I might have a slight
A
thing I
plan.
need to ask you about.
Okay. Right. Now I am getting a little nervous, but go
All right,
on.
right. Well, calm down. It's not bad, I don't think, but you are the dream expert, and I have been having some odd reoccurring dreams.
Oh, what? I've been trying really hard to stay out of you guys' dreams lately, so
Thank
I
you. It's appreciated.
haven't. Do you want to? What are they? What do you
Kale will
think?
look to Pico because they've talked to Pico privately about this. And then just sort of look back to Sybil and say, they're not bad, but I
But
am. Do you remember that time that I was a forest?
yes, sort of.
Yes.
I wasn't there, but I
Right,
remember
but I
hearing about
told
it.
you
Yeah.
about it. They're sort of like that. I'm dreaming that I am an area, many things, living, growing, scuttling, blowing in the wind.
Okay.
And I thought at first it might be my connection to my grove, the one in Isenbridge, but it doesn't. I'm not sure. I couldn't say where I am.
Okay. Okay. So,
It might be the grove,
oh,
which
sure.
I do mean to go to at some point, but I think I will have to find other dragons first. It almost killed me to wake my grove, and this is the grove. There's no way I could wake it on my own.
That's cool. If you're dream symbology has never been like a thing that I'm like super good at. Um, but if you want, I can probably go into your dream and see if I can find out an actual location.
That
Maybe
would
there might be
be
some
helpful.
if it's actually real as opposed to just like, a dream.
It feels real to me, but obviously it's a dream and it
How long
can
has
feel
this been
very real.
happening?
For a few moons now.
Oh.
Well, and then recently, like in the past, since the new moon, um, it's changed a little. I'm still the forest, or no, I'm walking through it, and I see roots pulling themselves out of the ground and then burying themselves again, as though they were tossing and turning in their sleep. And I feel, that feeling of tension as a thunderstorm is brewing. It's like that, but for the whole forest. Something is coming. And that's it. And then I wake.
Yeah.
So
That does not
anyway,
okay.
I don't mean to alarm you. I just thought it might be best if I could invite you into my dreams for a little while. Just get you to look over it.
Yeah, I can I'll you can do that tonight. I can poke around in there. I actually haven't been having my own weird dreams, so it'd be nice to like actually see somebody else's weird dreams for once.
I'm glad that you haven't been having weird dreams.
Actually, yeah, since being on the ship, I don't know. I think I was just really stressed out.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, we didn't do anything bad or anything.
Yes. No, not at all. Anyway,
Sure.
sorry to worry you.
No.
It's concerning.
I mean, it doesn't. We kind of got sidetracked with the whole we have to overthrow the government thing. But I mean, the whole point was that magic was waking up, and I don't feel like it ever actually stopped waking up. So it's
No.
very likely that something in the natural world is coming, and I can feel God grinning.
Which
just
one?
look over and see Effie smiling, and I'm like, I hate it. Oh God, stop.
I was responding in our Discord, join our Discord if you're not in it.
Oh, good.
Because someone was just like, dream time. And I'm just like, yes, we're definitely having some dream episodes this season.
Love a dream episode.
Yeah.
As a treat.
Yeah.
As a treat.
Yeah, just a little one. A tiny one.
Anyway, I, like I said, I don't want to alarm you. I just thought someone should know.
Should should we talk to Ball about this, or do you want
I
to?
thought I'd talk to you first because dreams are your specialty and Ball seems very stressed.
Yeah, no,
But
that's fair.
we shouldn't keep it from her. I
We could
will tell
also-
her.
We
About
should.
now, can I also get a intellect-based roll from Kale? I cannot tell you what it is.
Perfect. I'm just gonna roll an 18. Wow.
Okay. You have that same sensation that you had in those most recent, somewhat concerning dreams. It's almost like you can hear thunder rolling in the distance at the horizon, but it's a clear day. And
Kale will-
something unheard, but it's that so far away that you think you hear it, but you can't,
Right.
of something snapping.
So, Kale is mid-sentence, and their head snaps up like a dog hearing a noise, and they're just staring off at the horizon in a particular direction. And they will put one hand on Pico's back, and then just feel for Sybil's hand and put a hand on Sybil's and kind of grab it as though they need reassurance.
Hey, are you? What's happening?
Pico is suddenly asleep.
Are you?
I think we should all gather and have that talk now, actually.
Oh,
Something just snapped in the world.
I elaborate, please.
Let's go.
I would. Okay. No
And Kale will
elaboration.
start climbing down. We'll scoop up Pico and climb down the crow's nest ladder.
Sybil's like piling the blankets and pillows back in the corner and is just like, so no elaboration. We're just gonna okay.
Yeah,
All right.
just climbing.
I don't know that I can elaborate. It's a feeling.
So, Fang and Varen, you both are kind of doing your own thing out on the deck, because at this point Bal has gone off to try to do stuff in the cabin. Where would you say you are? Like, Corey is probably at the moment working his way through a couple of knots on a fishing net, because at the moment things are mostly in hand.
I could see Corey helping, like in that case, like maybe because Fong wanted to help fish, that maybe it's like Fong was like, oh my goodness, I need to learn how to do this. I'm used to using a rod and reel, so let's see what this is all about.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intellect roll. This is to kind of learn / read the person doing it.
Wow.
Corey's kind of fumbling. He's trying to help. Corey was a city watchman and had never sailed before Bal dragged him onto this ship. So he doesn't know what he's doing either. And you can kind of tell that. But he's following along with what one of the other people on the ship that is a little bit more like experienced on the water is doing in maintaining the nets. So Corey would not be the person to learn from, but is an example you can attempt to follow.
Yeah, I would like to follow.
Okay. Varen?
Varen decided that her job was to shadow Corey, being the assistant to the first mate. So I am also trying to help with untangling these nets as well.
Let's go.
Okay. So I believe that last time we ended with Bal still in the cabin, just after talking to Vera. Did we?
I think I was leaving the cabin and being like, and calling for Kale and Sybil because I wanted to tell them about Ace's thing.
Okay, so as you guys are coming down the main mast, you see both Varen and Fong helping Corey out with one of the particularly large fishing nets that are stored on the vessel because it needed some maintenance, and apparently everyone decided to like do a little camping circle and like work on little knots to keep it together.
They're fitting in
And
so well.
yeah, and
I just picture the one guy who actually knows how to do this slowly undoing whatever the other people are doing and actually doing it right.
Yep.
It's just making the job harder for that one guy.
Effective use of time.
roll some speed checks for some coordination to see how well you guys are actually managing to follow along.
His job
I
is
can
now
roll
teach
for
all the
Corey as well,
newbies.
right?
Yeah, roll for Corey.
15.
What'd you get?
Okay.
What'd you get, Matt? I see that smile.
I got a natural 1.
Yay!
Oh.
You have tied yourself.
Amazing.
I rolled a
to the net.
9.
So Varen,
Y'all are helping.
Varen, you're not doing an amazing job, but you're also, this is not really what you anticipated doing, so you're just kind of a little distracted watching the others, and part of that distraction is because Fong is getting himself slowly more and more tangled into the net. Like, you have somehow managed to, like, get yourself wrapped in it to where it's hooked on a couple of your various accoutrements, and, like, you're trying to get it, and it's tangling further.
You gotta be one with the net.
You are very much one with the net right now in a very special way.
Total immersion.
But yeah, so as you guys are coming down, Kale in full panic mode, and Bal, you're just about to open the door to go calling for the other two to see if you can find them in any way, because you also were not able to reach Icenbridge to tell them what you wanted to.
Right.
So, scene, go.
Yo,
Fuck.
Sybil.
Fong, are you okay? Sybil's like, oh, Kale, what? Fong, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. Don't worry, I got this.
Do you need a knife? Are you okay? Okay, Kale.
Ball?
Mm,
Yes, hi. Is everything all right?
no, but so we are. You know what we wanted, yeah?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We know that we're not the only ones who are wanted.
Like they're wanted too?
No,
Pointing at
as in
Fong
people back home are wanted as well. Back in
Oh.
Icenbridge.
Probably yes, like Corey.
Yeah. Well, he's not back home, but
No,
yeah.
yes. That's why he's here.
Who back
Yeah, Corey
home.
just kind of waves at you and then, like, reaches over a hand to try and help Fong out of the net.
Of course.
Kale does like a double take and is like, worry about that in a moment.
I also looked through Ace's eyes, which I hadn't done in a while, and I saw him fucking around with some artifacts of some sort. In a box.
Did any of them in a book or a box?
Box.
Did any of them look familiar? Like the ones that we lost? You lost?
The ones that you lost.
The ones that
No,
That's right.
I
They'd been
don't-
hired to steal a bunch of artifacts, yes?
yes.
But we don't know who hired them.
No. I have some theories, but I wasn't. It was very interesting because it was there was candles. It was like a temple of some sort, and I don't like temples, especially now after everything. You know, she gestures wildly up into the sky.
Okay, right.
Just deities are watching.
Yeah, aware.
Right.
Artifacts.
Yeah, it was like he was trying. It was like they were trying to like piece them together into something bigger, which
Like it looked like they were like pieces in a puzzle, or they were just like
I'm
putting
not sure. It was
things
dark,
into-
and I rolled really bad.
I
And what happened?
Well,
did they
put
know you
the
were
last
there?
one in the box, and then I stopped being able to see through their eyes because it ran out, not because something happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been just a moment ago, yes? When you see through Ace's eyes, it's what's happening now, right?
Yeah, maybe like a minute or two,
Oh.
right?
It's-
Because it was I saw that and then I talked to Sybil's sister who
yeah,
was like,
so
"It was
it's
a minute."
probably been about 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 15,
That's way longer.
because because you had like you had that, and then you also had spoken to Varen and Fang because you
Okay.
observed some weird shit going on out there. And
Right.
then you went to, like, you discussed some more stuff, and then you went back into the captain's quarters to try and make the call.
It's been a little bit, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
All right, because I just felt something in the world snap.
My patience, probably.
No. This was
Something
weird.
deeper.
It got real serious real fast.
Oh,
And Pico fell asleep.
well, that's not good. Do you know where? Do you
Evie,
a
did I
direct-
have a direction, or did I just looked
Yeah.
off somewhere?
Give me an intellect roll.
All right, can I put an effort on this?
You can, if you have anything that is nature-based, survival, tracking, etc., that would give you an opportunity to determine cardinal directions, then that would potentially provide an asset. So what you got?
All right.
You
I have
also have-
perception.
You also have an ease from Mind's
Ooh.
Ease.
Ooh,
which
nice.
you could use if you
I'm
want.
using that. That gives me 2 steps down.
Okay.
17. I'm on fire. This is nice.
Easily. South-ish.
Okay. Kale
So,
will like
like,
frown in concentration and spin
towards-
around for a
towards
moment.
forward of the ship, because
Yeah,
you guys are
and
heading
then-
approximately in that direction.
And then they'll point where they think that feeling is coming from. I think there.
Okay, so this feels like something we should all. Hey, Varen and Fang, we need to. So we're a group now. We decide things as a group. Kale thinks that they felt something in the universe snap, and it's that direction. Should we go? Because I really, really want to.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't think I felt anything. Question Evie.
Yeah.
Is my tattoo still shifting?
Yes. It's very
But-
subtle.
Heavy.
You won't. Yeah, it's very subtle. You only see it occasionally peeking up outside of the clothing and then ducking back in. But it is almost like it's restless.
That's what I
Heavy.
thought.
Yeah.
Do I have any feelings from on above? From
Not currently.
Any feelings?
not really? Okay.
Not currently. Fong, at this
okay.
point, you would have managed to get yourself untangled with the assistance of Corey and the deckhand.
Goodness. Let's try this again.
Oh, you're gonna do it again. Okay.
This is my job.
You don't have to have a job.
So
None of
Well,
you
we're-
felt anything.
No.
No.
I can't say I did. No.
to be fair, I think at around that time I was kind of distracted.
Yeah, what have you guys been up to?
Yes.
Oh no, never.
I wonder if the two might be connected somehow, Bal.
Potentially.
I mean, if it's something that
Sounds like some sort of ritual.
We're currently heading south, right? Around the coast. Heavy?
Yeah.
need to look at the map.
You're heading south along the coast. You, with how much time has passed on the ship, because you are in coastal waters, taking like the edge of a current, like not one of the major currents, but the edge of a current. So you would be probably about halfway along Karthok now.
Okay.
Like by this afternoon, you will probably reach the coastal town that is on the edge of Karthok and Polyarna to be able to make your drop off. And that's probably a good opportunity to finish resupplying since you got interrupted last time.
For some reason.
For, unrelated.
Do you have any measurement of how far this snap happened? Anything else?
No, it's vague. You know how things are when I get weird feelings.
Right.
This is all actually happening, right? Nobody's asleep.
I walk up to Sybil and pinch her shoulder. or
Okay, you have to ask before you do those things.
And
That's not.
And also, you would have felt that in a dream too.
Yeah.
Because you actually go into the dreams, so you would be able to feel things in the dreams. So I'm just pointing that out to you for future reference.
No, I think she knows. I think Ball knows.
Ball knows.
She's just an excuse to pinch.
Ball's just mad. Like, okay, well,
You know what you've done.
I don't feel asleep.
I don't either, but that's kind of not indicative of anything.
Well, if use your thingy, get us out.
Yeah, okay. That was very vague. I mean,
I'm going to operate on the assumption that we are awake. If Sybil thinks we are. And I think that Sybil using her powers to wake us up from reality might have some unintended consequences.
well, I don't think I can wake you up from a not dream. I think
I
if this,
sincerely hope you cannot.
where would we go to?
All right.
Additionally, Fang and Varen, like, this is some wild shit they're saying directly in front of you. The
Okay.
crew
What do we say
is-
wild shit all the time?
Yeah, the crew is used to ignoring them. This is the first time you've heard about Sybil potentially waking people up from reality and them questioning whether or not they're asleep.
We're all crazy
And you're out in the middle of the ocean with us.
with us.
Welcome to the ship.
We're not stuck in here with you. You are stuck in here with us.
We put us on this ship to protect other people. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just still trying to think about whether or not we're asleep. It's fine.
I will tell you one thing. If I was sleeping, I would not be dreaming about this ship. I would be dreaming about a bigger ship.
I think you'd be dreaming about some other stuff, but we don't have to talk about that.
Hold on. I'm going to turn around and ignore you now. Kale,
Yes.
do you have anything else to say?
You don't have anything to say. You just wanted to be mean.
No, as always, my feelings are very vague and they require some
Right.
interpretation. But it was strong. Something is happening.
What if we did one of them?
You want to have tea?
Yeah.
You know, I'll never say no to some tea.
Well, no, like the magic tea that we had.
Oh,
at
yes.
that time.
Yes. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yes, that's not a bad idea.
Last time we needed direction, that kind of helped us. Yeah.
All right, Varen, Fong, you have not done a reading with us before, but would you like to be involved?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. On the surface, we will all drink tea together from the same pot, and we will concentrate on a question we want the answer to. However, there's more to it than that, and you may feel at least when we did it before, we all were stand-ins for different elements that make up the world. And you may feel a connection to those things while we enjoy our tea together.
I would like to point out one thing while you're making this plan.
Mm-hmm.
Pico is currently asleep
That's what I
in
thought.
his dragon form.
Oh.
He did not change back into a teapot.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, that's
Which is
word.
yeah,
That's
which is
really
why it
weird.
was so concerning for you. He
Yeah,
just
okay, no,
fell
that's,
asleep.
that's good to know.
Yeah, he just fell asleep.
The question is, I don't, and I'm probably still cradling him in an arm, and I'll be like, honestly, and I'll kind of like stroke his head and whisper to him for a second, and then go, I may not be able to access my magic right now. I've never seen Pico sleep in this form before, and he doesn't seem to be waking.
His little foot twitches a little bit, so he's obviously still alive because he doesn't breathe. He's copper. But his foot twitches a little bit and he shifts. So he is just sleeping. He's not comatose. But you have never seen him sleep in this form. And he never changed back into a teapot. So using the tea ceremony
might not be possible.
Is not impossible, but will be very, very difficult without him right now.
Sybil, is he dreaming? I wouldn't want to invade his dreams. I know they're private, but is there a way you can tell without peeking?
I can. He's kicking.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
No, dogs kick when they're sleeping. They go.
Well, yeah, but dreaming.
Pico's hardly a dog.
Well,
I have several questions.
Yeah.
The first one being, what is that? And the second one being, are we all on drugs?
Dragon.
I am.
And only sometimes, but not right now. I don't think.
Not all of us.
What are you on? What are you on?
Alcohol.
I guess that's a drug. We need to have a chat about that.
I've introduced you to Pico before, but only when he was a teapot. He's a small copper dragon. He's my guide.
Right, yeah. You know how I have the tentacle arm and Sybil has the annoyance? That's Kale's thing.
Okay.
I have a companion who is a dragon, but also sometimes takes the form of a teapot.
Yeah.
He does that.
It's not even the weirdest thing about all of us.
It's like your tattoos.
All I
It's
have
just
is all I have is this, and you can just see it. I'm assuming it's like kind of like almost like pulsing or something.
Muted my microphone. If you like shift your like collar to expose more of where you are familiar with it being, the rest of them can now see that it wasn't just that initial curl that Bal and Fang saw where it traveled up your neck, around your ear, and back down. Like, both Kale and Sybil, and then the other two as well, can see the dark, like, inky blackness of Varen's tattoo has moved up and is sort of like worming its way across the shoulder, around the neck, back down, and keeps like appearing and disappearing on her skin, like it's moving around, like a restless squirrel almost.
Don't take this the wrong way, but is your tattoo alive?
I don't know the answer to that. Like, I don't feel it really. So I'm going to assume like no, but with a question mark.
Okay.
That's probably safe, yes.
It wasn't moving last time I saw it.
It's moving?
Right, yeah, a lot.
I knew it could move from place to place. I didn't realize it could. I thought it was just like sometimes it would just be in a different place. I didn't realize it.
Oh, that's
moved.
Oh, that's kind of newish.
Yeah, that occasionally it will snake its way to a different location, but it generally moves from one to another Like, and you can see it move from one to another, and then it'll stay in the new location. It doesn't just move around like a fish in a fishbowl.
It kind of looks like a worm, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to get off of
No,
you.
it looks
Yeah.
more like smoke. Varen, may I take a look?
Well, certainly. And I start to like loosen the scarf and kind of like undo my collar just a little bit
And I
more.
will
So
peer in really closely. I don't know if I can do empathy on a tattoo, but if it's got
Hello?
a mind of its own, maybe
You can try.
I'm
Empathy on
gonna.
a
this is
tattoo is
interesting.
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna.
can
I
you
feel
can
like we're about
try.
to both learn something about.
We're gonna
about
learn some
Varen.
stuff.
Yeah, like you can definitely
I've got-
try. I don't know.
I've got reading people and
yeah.
empathetic, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna put a couple effort on this because this
Okay.
seems
Is this
neat.
wait?
Actually,
Hold on. Is this a perception check or equivalent?
It
Because
it
you
is
also
it
are
is not
trained.
yeah, it is
in
not
tasks.
it's not necessarily visual, auditory, taste, whatever. It's an
No.
extrasensory sense.
Oh,
To
'cause,
try and read people, because it's when you're reading someone, it's not that you are literally reading words off of them. You are observing something
connecting with
about them,
them,
and
yeah.
making an intellectual like assumption
Judgment about
based
it.
off of
Yeah.
that.
No, I understand. I'm just asking because I have lead by inquiry as well, which gives training in task of perception for people. So
I have a,
that's what I was asking.
No, not in this
I
case.
have-
You could
I have
aid.
a,
You
specialty.
could aid me.
Can only aid if trained. You are special in
right.
that because of your helps with friends.
I also am not trained in anything to perceive things. So
You just got gifted a natural 20.
Yeah.
Ho, ho,
Oh,
ho.
I also. I don't
there
know
you
if you want
go.
to use that nat 20. You're probably going to use it, but I also have specialized supernatural knowledge.
Okay.
Ooh, I really want to use that nat 20 right now because it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's-
I would do
let's
that, but just keep
all-
that in mind.
Let's all stare at
all
Varen's
stare at
weird
me.
tattoo.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
As
just
we're
like,
all
oh,
like
this is-
sciencing on this tattoo, we're like,
Okay.
hmm.
So you're using your nat 20 on it.
I'm using my nat 20. I'm gonna try to like I connect to the universe. I want to try and connect to Varen's tattoo.
Okay. So you like peer in, and then you peer a little closer, and it's as you catch its movement, it's not smooth. It's like something struggling. It's like something starting to toss and turn as it begins to wake up, or trying to worm its way out of confines, something that is trying to uncover itself. And it's not necessarily that you get a sense of emotion or thought from it, just that it's not like it's smoothly traveling and gliding. It like twitches into place. That's why I initially described it as like a squirrel, like going around a tree, because that's not a smooth like single path. It's like they start and stop and then they move in a jerky motion. This is twitching, and the closest that you can get to understanding it is that it is connected to something. You're not sure if it's something internal to Varen or something external. But it's like something that is struggling either to escape, wake up, uncover itself, is being confined. There is some sort of resistance to its movement.
Interesting. So think what this looks like is Kale has gotten you to move your scarf aside, and they at first were like peering really, really closely at your neck, and then realizing that that was weird, they're going to like, ask if they can put a hand on you, and just put a hand over your tattoo and close their eyes and breathe really deeply for what feels like ages. Like when somebody is that close to you and concentrating, like 30 seconds can feel like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
And then
I'm so
eventually they'll.
uncomfortable.
And it's weird. You can tell when the tattoo is under your hand because it is moving.
Right.
So putting your hand
Right.
in a single location means that it would
Yeah.
not constantly be under your hand. But you can tell from a temperature difference
Right.
when it is under your hand.
Is it
Because
colder?
it is colder.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. The look on Joel's face just then, like, wait, what?
You got parasite in there.
You know, it's weird when the tentacle armed person is like, ugh.
Oh no. Oh, gross.
Oh, that's ugh.
But yeah. But yeah.
It doesn't feel like it has consciousness though. It's not a separate entity.
Yeah,
it's
you don't-
something
you
from
don't-
elsewhere.
Yeah, you don't get the sense of emotion. You don't get the sense of thought. It's not like you are trying to read a person. It is not like the intent that nature has when
Right.
you are being guided
Yeah.
by your various abilities.
Yeah.
It is just the motion is akin to that. But the tattoo itself is not necessarily alive enough for you to get a personified reading
Yeah.
from it.
So after way too long, Kale will remove their hand and sort of almost like brush it off as if they're trying to get rid of the sensation. And then they'll sit down on a barrel and just think for a minute.
That's a weird response.
I'm used to it. It's you get used to it.
No, it's
It's
very
not-
rare.
That's a weird response.
Go on.
It's not bad. It's just odd. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't know if I can find words for this. It's not alive. It's not like a thing that is living in your skin. So that's good.
That's-
But it's animate in that it is like if there was something stuck in a trap trying to find its way out. Yes?
Like a worm.
So it's
No.
alive, but it's not alive.
No, not like a worm. More like
Like a ringworm.
know- like a lightning, like lightning. When Jax summoned lightning, the moment before it left the clouds, it would try and find a way out.
Right.
Like that, but cold and
May I?
dark.
May I make a comparison?
Sure.
So, when reading something, say, as you described, an animal in a trap, the animal is alive.
Yeah.
The shadow it casts is not.
Oh, interesting.
It still
So-
moves the same way.
I hate this.
So you have the
no,
shadow of a parasite.
no, lightning is not right. Lightning is too animate. This is not animate. This is
Like a worm.
like what I said earlier about the trap, the animal in a trap, right? This isn't the animal. This is the shadow of the animal in the trap, struggling to get out.
Varen, who gave you this tattoo?
Well, no one really did. It just kind of showed up one day, and it just kind of grew bigger over time.
Did you go to a doctor?
That's not a thing that. Do you know how tattoos work? That's not.
I
can't
mean, I generally know how tattoos work, but
Are you
I mean,
sure?
it started out as like it was kind of like a birthmark, and the doctor said it was probably just a birthmark. It was gonna, it could go away on its own, it could not, whatever. And then it just like one day it started doing that, and then that freaked
And then you
everyone
went to
out.
another doctor for a second opinion, yeah?
You would. An exorcist.
Well, I mean, like it doesn't hurt. It just tends to scare people a lot, but that's about
So you've had it forever.
as far as I know.
It
Okay.
doesn't seem malevolent, so I don't think you would need to exercise it.
It's not how tattoos work, but
It's magic,
I
obviously.
don't know how birthmarks work either.
My hands started turning green, and I didn't know what it was about.
yeah, but your hands
But it was
didn't
magic.
just decide to be on your back one day. Like, okay. There's a lot of things going on. If you give me Pico, I'll figure out if he can
Yes,
dream.
please. I'm very worried about him.
I have questions for you, Varen. We should talk more. She's like flipping through notes, trying to be like, I have no idea what this is. This does not make any sense at all. But
yeah, no one really knew what it was either, which is why the whole point was like I'm trying to get to like Isenbridge or somewhere where maybe they would know more about it because
they won't know anything in Isenbridge.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
You are talking to the 3 smartest people when it comes to this shit.
Unfortunately.
Isenbridge.
I'm
not saying something because we're not very smart.
Well, it seems like I'm in good company then, at least.
Yeah, as a reminder to the players from the last campaign, the majority of the academy still has not been reconstructed because
and they were
it got
idiots.
blown up. Yeah, because it got blown up. Yeah,
For reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I used to hate having a tentacle arm. Now I'm just so happy that I don't have weird shadow squirrel trap tattoos.
No. It's not that strange. It's no weirder than the rest of us.
I want to be
Definitely weirder than the rest of us. Have you ever seen it to the moves?
Weirder is a strong sentiment.
Yes.
You physically changed you reconstituted your leg into a different thing. Like, that's pretty weird.
My leg just calcified, or whatever the term is. It turned into a crab. That's a natural.
And then you turned it.
Wait, you turned into a crab, and you're saying that my tattoos are weird?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Let's not throw weird around.
Well, I'm turning
very
from
much.
we're turning from one thing to the other, which is what we all do. Kale, you do the same thing. It's not that weird.
I know a lot of people who would think it's quite weird, actually.
Well, those people are weird. Anyway, I really should not think so much.
Sorry, Fong, do you have any strange things going on that we need to worry about right now?
Oh yeah,
we can help.
You got out of the net, okay?
No, I mean, sometimes. Look.
Sorry, out of character. I just realized that you can face through shit, and you just got stuck in the net anyway.
Wait,
yeah.
I used it all up.
Yeah, like I was like, you did not make an attempt to try to phase through it, so I'm just like, so Corey's gonna help you.
I kept showing it off last time when we were talking. I kept going into
You're
the
out of
net.
juice.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so to clarify, something in the universe snapped. Ace may have completed a ritual. You have the weirdest tattoo shadow birthmark situation, and Pico is down for the count. Is that everything?
No.
Did I get it all?
No, we're also wanted by one of the most powerful military forces on the planet.
What did you guys talk about while we were busy?
Oh, they want to give us over to islanders.
Just in general? Like,
I mean, sort of, yeah. Well,
no,
we wanted to fake it.
Yeah, we wanted to fake it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we get the reward money,
Right.
and then they don't have to worry about y'all anymore, and then we go away with the fortune. It's a win-win.
And just so we are on the same page, how are we going to fake 3 different bodies? Well,
I told you we just go find like a dead body. Like I'm sure there's like a bunch of them lying around.
Well, we don't have to fake you two. We could just like give them me, and then I can just get out of there. That's kind of fun.
You're also the one they don't want to kill.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be fine.
Well, to be fair, they also they don't know it's me.
True. Okay. And Fong and Varen, you guys, they're not after you guys yet.
Not these ones.
Okay.
I don't think I'm wanted. No.
There's a plan in here that I could be on board with, but like, I'm only going to speak for myself because I know that I can probably get out of stuff. I feel like we probably shouldn't put Val and Kale into that
I
situation.
don't think I like the idea of going into a cage.
Yeah, they don't do very. Okay,
I
yeah,
also-
maybe not, maybe not.
I also simply do not want to sail north. Just in general.
That's suspicious.
This has been my stance since day one. You've
I
been
know,
saying
which
this thing
is
for months.
suspicious.
It's not.
You have a vendetta against a cardinal direction.
No,
That's
I have
suspicious.
a vendetta against sailing into the territory of the people who want me dead.
Well, they don't know it that they want you dead.
Well, they do want me dead. They just don't know that me is the eye that
That's
they
what
want.
I just said.
So this is you? Like this Balder character? That's you?
Yeah,
Nope.
sometimes. Mm,
Not at all.
not anymore. Is that
Looking at the picture, because I'm assuming that by this is you're holding out the particular
The
page
picture.
that is dedicated to Balder. Looking at it, it is a very, very poorly drawn, like wrong nose, and like part of it, like half of the face has the beard, the other half of the face doesn't, because there's this confusion on whether or not there's a beard, so they wanted to depict both. But squinting at it, you can tell that it's supposed to be Balder, especially with the tentacle depicted, the tentacle arm.
It looks nothing like me.
well, no.
Well, no, and I shift the papers and I see Kale, and this doesn't really look like Kale either. So that's what I'm saying is that I think we can work with this.
Yeah,
I just wanna be-
Kale's is also fairly inaccurate and is the very stuffy tea shop owner version of you, because that's what most of them had been familiar with you as.
Let's keep that on the back burner in case we just like need a bunch of money. How much are we going for? Hold on.
Maggie, you
don't-
have a
we
nat 20.
don't need this amount of money.
Oh hell yeah.
It's not a lot of money.
I mean, no one needs that much money, but it's nice to have.
Yeah,
don't
no,
break
like
it
the
I
amount
mean-
is almost insulting.
I mean, some
Yeah.
people need that much money.
I guarantee
You
I've
need
had bigger
money?
bounties than that one.
We can figure that out for you, Fang. Don't worry.
Thank you.
No?
You gotta pay him.
Oh, well, if he works, yes.
So comparatively, and this will like, it is actually almost an insultingly low amount, considering that they have prices out on your heads. Because I believe
That is
when I like, because I don't have the notes pulled up right now, I believe that
can
when
do
I told
better.
you guys last session, it was like a couple hundred clip. It was like 500 clip maybe.
I think so.
It
was like-
wasn't a lot.
We
We're
can
worth more than that.
do
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like I said, it's not an amount of money that we would even benefit from
Not yet.
at all.
Not currently.
At all.
But
You do realize that
would.
all of this sailing is making us money, right? We can make that amount of money in just a couple of trips.
Whoa.
Yes, it is a business.
We should take
What
more trips.
What do we do here?
You nothing. We are tradesmen. We take shipments from places to
We
places.
Okay.
What do you think? We're just traveling up and down the coast for no reason?
That's
Kind
what the
of.
hold is full
Yeah.
of. Yes.
A little
The
bit.
hold has a lot of things in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
the shipment that you currently have in the hull, Val, for the collector that you're bringing something down to, is probably on its own worth about 500 clip. And you know that there is other transport that you could seek out for
Right.
specialized items should you so choose, at least based on your personal history.
Of course.
I kind of just thought we were being pirates.
What? No, this is a legitimate business.
The Counselor of Isenbridge wouldn't do piracy, right, Ball?
Correct. Kale?
I'm also nodding.
Look, money is not an issue, all right?
Mhm.
We don't need, and we don't need to put ourselves in danger for more money.
Sure,
can
but it
go
would be
really far.
nice if Islandus thought that we were dead.
Except that if we do that and it goes awry, then we are smack dab in the middle of their
We don't-
territory.
We don't have to necessarily go. I'm sure we could find a way to like fake our death and have it get back to them if that's what we actually want to do, as opposed to like going and giving them some fake bodies, because that, I don't feel like we should be the ones to do that. The chances of us getting caught, like 3 people that show up with 3 people as corpses who look oddly similar to them. Well, no, because then we would just send Farron. It's good. I still like the plan. I have to figure out if this dragon can dream. Hold on. She just like holds her arms out and it's just like.
And with that, let's go ahead and actually take a break while Sybil figures that out. So stretch your legs, get something to drink, and we will be back shortly. Thank you very much for joining us so far. welcome back. Everybody is in their proper place. Thank you, OBS, for not fucking up yet again.
Hell yeah.
I'm Evie the Disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any, and welcome to the second half of Empyrean Wilds, episode 3. Where we left off, Sybil was like, I'm not sure if you guys are just going to stand around staring at Sybil as she attempts.
I will, because I'm very
To-
concerned about Pico.
To like figure out what's going on with Pico, or like is Val going to go off and do ship things? Is Fang going to attempt to continue mending the net, or do
Yes.
whatever it is that Fang does? What are you guys all doing
We're very good at
while
that,
Sybil
for sure,
figures this
mending.
out after this long talk about how all of you are weird and you have a job that pays you money?
I think Fong, now that I know the mechanical benefit there,
Yeah.
is gonna use balls once per day ease
Uh-huh.
to get this net done.
Good.
Okay.
Good
Fung's
usage.
nemesis, the net.
Let's
So-
go.
Would you like to use the ease on attempting the repair, or would you like to use the ease on learning how to do it on your own? Because like, you can roll to just kind of get through it by luck, or you can roll to begin picking up the skill.
No, he's just gonna he wants to just do it.
Okay,
He
so
wants
he's gonna
to just succeed on it,
So
so
he's
he
just-
could be like, yeah,
Okay.
I can contribute.
All right, cool. So this is your second attempt, which means
Yeah.
that it is made harder by 1.
Mhm.
Because every time you reattempt a skill task, it becomes hindered by 1. So
Okay.
it just gradually gets harder.
Mhm.
So where previously it was just a 3, it is now a 4. So you're aiming for 12 or better, eased back
Okay.
to 3. So 9 or
Okay.
better.
I got an 8.
I love that for you.
No.
You don't get tangled. You managed to learn enough to not get tangled, but unfortunately, your luck just wasn't on your side with that one, and you get some of the knots, but like you do notice that the deckhand does like subtly retie them so that they're not as bulky and stringy. Like as you finish with one and start on a different hole.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah. Next time. Welcome, new chatter.
Oh man.
Giovanni, it looks like. So while Sybil is making this attempt, what are Varen and Val up to? Are you guys also just watching as Sybil like takes Pico in hand and is like trying to figure out what to even do? Or are you going off and doing your own things?
I feel like Varen would offer. Is there anything I could do to help with this this dream walk that you do?
I don't know. I don't really think I know how to do it in general. I just kind of think about it. And I don't know, maybe you could also think about it? I don't know if that would do anything.
Well, I'll
good.
definitely think about it. But if you don't need me, I'm gonna go back to helping Corey.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I kind of... We all have our strengths. Okay, you're good. Bye.
So you just
like,
follow after Corey while Corey goes off to do something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm once again shadowing, so I learn my way around the boat.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Now that we know about your tattoo, the fact that you are shadowing is a little more ominous, but
Yeah,
okay.
I don't
it's a
know- I
little
don't know
more
how to feel about
ominous, but also kind of funny.
I think I'm gonna delegate the "Let's go faster" orders to Corey,
Okay.
and then I'm going to actually try to assist Sybil with the
I am also assisting. I'm just
I don't
hovering
know how to.
nervously nearby.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
are you intending to assist? Because remember, to actually provide an asset through like trained assistance, you have to be trained in it. That's why Corey is able to
Yes.
give you an asset in specific things but not others.
I'm going to try to use Blessing of the Gods
Okay.
to my connection to Paradoja to look into
Paradoxicillin. Thank you very much,
Paradoxicillin,
Google.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Google Meets.
I like that now it
Paradoxicillin.
changed to Sherry-doxiclone.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Good.
perfect.
Because I have three things, but I'm gonna probably use either protection or love/health.
Okay.
The mechanically they don't do much, but
Okay. So
I don't
you're
know how else
attempting
to-
to connect to your deity to help guide Sybil.
yeah, sort of like what they called yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah.
Okay.
Also, you have a free ease from my abilities.
Yeah. So, as Varen follows Corey off to talk to the various other deckhands to try and like catch a little bit of a faster tailwind and maybe veer out a little bit further into the current to go faster. The other three of you are still in place by where Fang is near the hand that is now folding up and about to put away the net because we're trying to move fast. Sybil, what ability are you going to attempt to use to determine a dream state? You have a couple that are coming to mind for me, but I want to see what you are attempting to do.
Well, the one that seems hello? My phone just decided to go off at the same time. The one that I like the one that I have is intrude upon the dreaming, but that is a there's a custom one, and I don't remember how much it costs me.
Okay, let me find it.
I'm also finding it. It's fine.
Intrude upon the dreaming. All right.
What a name!
What a name indeed. There it is. It just doesn't.
It does
cost me?
it does have a cost. I like was giving you the description because you hadn't written it down when I initially gave it to you, because I had it on like a little note card and like told you during a chat.
Yeah.
It is a tier. It was one of your tier 3 things because that's the higher one, and I will just kind of. For the moment, let's assume that it is a 4 intellect ability because that's where a lot of the tier 3 stuff is, and I will find the actual note card that has the full description of both that and dream terrain for you, so that I can give you the actual costs.
I also have figured out how I can be of actual help.
Okay.
With my abilities. I want to use protection, my Blessing of the Gods protection, to create a bubble around us. Specifically, focusing on the fact that no noise within this space sounds louder than a normal speaking voice. So, with the intent of lowering the general volume of everything, so that Sybil can focus more.
Okay.
It's just
that will help. That will help.
Nice.
How big is this bubble?
It's centered on my person. Immediate radius for 1 minute.
So, 10 feet out in all directions from you is what's going on. So, like, Fang, where you're sitting and helping to, like, put this net away, like, one ear, everything seems really quiet and muffled, and the other ear, you can hear everyone moving around and the sounds of the ocean, and it is sort of like your ear wants to pop, but it doesn't, because it's just that everything is calmer on one side because you are half in the bubble, half out.
Good.
Amazing.
I'm okay with this.
And so, Sybil, you are using Intrude Upon the Dreaming, which, did I pin it?
I did.
Okay.
Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah, go ahead and give us the full description so that the
Okay.
audience has it as well.
Okie dokie. So, Intrude Upon the Dreaming is you can attempt to enter a dream of any sleeping target within range. The range is up to a mile.
Yep.
Within a short range, you can also cause sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do that, but just be warned that I can do that. To enter a dream and influence it for anyone within range, you have a DC equals 1 for every 100 feet from you, minimum 1.
All right. So basically, you have a ridiculous number of eases that could make this free if you choose to use those eases.
Yeah.
Or you can roll to see if you roll a nat 1.
Or a nat 20.
Or a nat 20. Like,
Like,
you can always make the roll. Even if the difficulty is 0, you can always choose to just go ahead and make the roll to see if you get a special effect. But that does create the risk of a natural 1.
Did you use the nat 20 that you just got given by Chad, by the way?
I haven't, but I've also haven't rolled this entire game so far.
Yeah.
So
And you're able to bank your nat 20s.
Yeah, I want to keep that. I want to keep that for later. I did roll 4, so
Okay.
like it's not that good.
You still succeed.
It's not a nat 1.
It's not a
Yes.
nat 1.
Yeah,
so-
you still succeed. It's
I'm
not a
doing
nat
this.
1, so you're able to succeed. This is the first time that you're really trying to do this in a
Yeah,
very
true.
long time. Like, there was the brief plan to do this in the last campaign where you would do this, like you would cause sleep on someone and then you would go into their dreams to influence stuff going on. Didn't end up actually happening. So this is like one of the first few times that you're really making this effort on purpose. And as your eyes white out and Sybil goes not as fully translucent as she does when she's passing through stuff, but you can like start to see the hints of like the ship deck and everything through her, like just barest hints of it. You go into Pico's dreams, and Pico is not little Pico anymore. Pico is big dragon that you are very familiar with from Kale's transformations, and is standing back watching as a variety of other T-dragons launch themselves through the air and at something. Make an intellect check, please.
This would be a time to use a banked nat 20. However,
It's up to you.
15?
15. Not bad. You remember that first vision that Jax had in, ironically, the spa that you guys went to, the bathhouse that you went to, seeing hundreds of what Jax described as Kales, hundreds of Kales, like, launching themselves in a full-scale battle and being killed. You're seeing this now from Pico's perspective as one of those dragons. They're fighting something. There does seem to be humans or humanoids in the mix, though those are blurred. But there's also something else, something larger, just out of sight.
So there are dragons that look like Kale that are actively dying around me, is what
Yeah.
you are telling me.
And as Pico launches himself forward, a barrier erects, and he gets knocked to the side. And looking to the side, you would be able to see Pico on the ground in his massive dragon form, that you are near a mountain range. And you can faintly see some sort of shimmering barrier stretched out along one side and then the other.
Can I try to talk to Pico in this little dream?
Go ahead.
Pico, are you okay? Pico, buddy.
It takes a minute to get his attention because he's very involved in the dream. Like the first time that you went into Bal's dream, you remember that Bal was like fully immersed, believing it to be reality and what was happening then. So it takes a second to really get Pico's attention. But as he struggles back to his feet and turns, it's just this dragonic snarl in response to something unexpected off behind and back.
Hi, buddy. Hi, friend. Nope, it's okay. This isn't actually happening. You're dreaming. This isn't real. Hi. You're so big.
Yeah, very large, because this is like the full guardian form, which you remember is bigger than all of you. Make a influence check. See if you can persuade Pico to realize that this is a dream and that you are not an enemy and that Pico knows you.
I'm trained in persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just a thing I
So that brings it from a 5 down to a 4.
That's so hard though. Let's see. Do I have anything else?
Not that bad.
You also have the ability to attempt to influence the dream while you are in it.
True.
You also have my
I do have
free
the
assist as well.
I do have the ease. 14. Just with an ease.
Yeah. So
That does it.
Alright. Slay.
So, like, what are you doing to influence the dream, or are you just trying to convince him that it's just a dream and that he like to remember you?
Like approaching a big horse, just like the open paw, like hands out, like flat, like you can't, you gotta keep your fingers together or they're gonna get bitten off, kind of deal. Like, I think probably just like puts a hand on Pico's like snout and just like, hi buddy, hi. This is you are so warm and so large and we are friends. Please don't. This is a dream. This is not real. Like she is not having a good time, but is trying really hard.
So the growling is slowly tapering off. It's quieter, so it's still there. And it gradually turns into a very subtle purr. And the hackles of the like frond-like mane slowly start to ease down, and very paranoid, his eyes like flick back and forth looking around, still partially trapped in but starting to realize that it's you.
Pico, you can't talk to me, can you?
Yes, I can.
Oh.
His
Okay.
voice is like
You got a really deep voice now.
complete difference. Giant dragon versus tiny copper dragon. Like,
Is this what you're
hugely
supposed to sound like? Is this what you
always sound like?
Right, my mistake. You do always sound like that. That is very true. I will not be arguing with a giant dragon, even in a dream. Pico, do you dream a lot? That's what this is. We're dreaming. This isn't real.
Not since I awoke.
We were talking and then you fell asleep. Do you remember what was happening? Kayla and I, we were up in the crow's nest and then you were asleep.
You were trying to give me a mud mask.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was kind of funny. Something happened, and I know that Kale would want to talk to you when you wake up, but they felt something happen in the world?
And as you're saying this, you see things seem to fade around you. And then there are those guardian dragons starting to appear out of the trees and woods nearby. And a small regiment of humanoids in mishmash armor coming to meet them. And they begin to launch themselves at each other again, like it's resetting.
This happened to you, didn't it? This is real.
I don't know. I don't remember this. There are so many lives. There have been so many.
Oh, I have a lot of questions.
Barrier has. And as you see, as he begins to talk about the barrier, you see it flash up again, that same barrier.
Do
Something
you
about the barrier?
do you know what that is?
No. And that
Oh.
sounds terrifying to him.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. Well, it's just a dream, you know. Maybe that is all it is. Sometimes that happens. Not to us, but, you know, sometimes.
I shouldn't be able to have my own dreams right now.
Yeah, something... That's what I was saying.
Guides.
Something happened.
Guides don't dream.
Okay. I don't think I can help you. I can make people sleep. I don't know that I can make them wake up.
This is the GM. You can try. But yeah, Pico seems very confused. This is not a memory that is familiar to him. Which you don't know a whole lot about the process and like how Pico and everything works with Kale. But this does not, like, while Kale has indicated and you have seen from Kale's dreams, which have always been Kale's dreams, there seems to be some sort of pattern of guide and guardian. But Pico seems very confused about the fact that this is happening. And while Kale and Pico might have made some mention of the fact that they've had more than one life, this does not seem to be one that he is familiar with, or at least not one that he vividly remembers.
These people, their armor, does it look familiar to you? Does it look familiar to me?
And he seems to, like, sit back and think, and there's still that, like, slight growling purr. Something about the dawn.
Something about the dawn?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And he groans a little bit and, like, ducks his head, and you can tell that him trying to remember it is causing him pain.
I mean, you can stop. You don't have to.
And around you, everything resets again.
If it hurts you, you don't have to do this. I can try and wake you up if you want. I have questions, but I don't want you to be in pain, you know?
Yes.
Yes to waking you up.
I think I've seen this multiple times, this dream.
You said you don't dream.
This dream. This time. How many times has it happened since you appeared?
Like you've said like 3 or 4 times it's done it since I've been in here? Or
This is the second
Yeah.
reset, so it's the third time.
the 3rd time?
Yeah.
Hey, I've never tried this. Can I bring Kale in here? Can I bring Kale in here? Kale needs to.
I mean,
don't know
one
what's
of the things
happening.
I would be trying to do to help you is to like probably put a hand on each of you because I'm the connection between Pico and
Yeah.
the real world, and you know me, so I'm there. I'm involved.
Roll for it, DC 6.
All right.
No.
6.
Can
Who's
I
rolling?
Can I give them my nat 20?
No, you would be the one doing it, so you would have to
Oh,
have
me?
the nat 20,
Oh.
yeah.
Great, nat 20. Done.
Okay.
So you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Kale
I
just
don't
gets
know how
yoinked
to do this. And
waking
then you
world.
like concentrate because you know that there's the connection. The guide exists for the guardian. Something about that, like in your head, the guide exists for the guardian. And so through Pico, more than through the like semi-transparent or semi-translucent body out in the real world. And yet another nat 20 to you, so you've got
Wow.
one to leave in the bank now.
Go to bank.
I really need to adjust that before next session. I keep saying that I'm going to, and then I don't.
No, forget about that. That's fine. That's fine.
But
We
yeah,
love a nat
so
20.
like through Pico, you reach out, and Kale, you find yourself initially tired and then collapsing onto the deck as your consciousness goes
Sorry.
into the dream.
Sorry.
Kale's just thud.
I'm gonna
yeah.
make sure to catch Kale.
Yeah, so like
Cool, thanks.
as you're watching this and you're like focusing
put that
on
net to
this
work.
this protective bubble, like, and Sybil is just standing there, partially translucent, holding on to Pico, eyes pure white, hair glowing just slightly hard to tell in the bright sunlight. And like Kale standing there, like one hand on each of them, and then Kale just goes unconscious. Go ahead and give me a speed check to try and catch Kale before they fall.
Natural 20.
What?
Did you really? Oh my god.
Okay, damn. All right, so yeah, you like catch Kale as they fall. You don't even get like a branch antler in your face while doing
You
so.
look cool doing it.
And like it's super smooth, just like full on like romance novel, like swoons into your arms and then you like
Amazing.
slowly lay them
Next
back
up.
down. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Amazing.
But yeah, so like you slowly lay them down and like Kale snores just slightly as you do so.
Yeah,
And
but it's okay. It's not loud enough to be a bother because of the bubble. So
yeah, it's just like tiniest snore. But yeah, they are asleep instead of like knocked out. But yeah, Kale, you find yourself standing at the edge of a forest, near a mountain range. You can see the mountains off to one side, and then faintly like hill lands over to another. And like before you is a guardian dragon, as a variety of minor forms and major forms of the guardian dragons like leap into battle against some sort of army and are being gradually cut down, and there is something ominous, something large, hazy, not really able to be discerned in the distance.
Kale
And
like
there's-
lands as though they just were dropped into this, and they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah, they just kind of appear.
Whoa, okay. So that it does. Hi. It works. That's cool.
this Sybil, this is a dream, right?"
Mhm. Yes. This is Pico's dream. I've been informed that Pico doesn't dream, and I have a lot of questions, and also I think it's hurting him, and
Pico,
Kale. And again, this is the first time you're hearing, like,
yeah,
deep rumbling voice of Pico instead of,
Hi, I'm Pico.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Nice to meet you in the flesh, as it were. I imagine we don't have very long here. What's happening?
and the barrier springs up.
it keeps doing this. This dream is
Is-
reset.
Pico, is this the Grove?
No. I don't think so. I don't know.
Is this similar to your dream, Kale?
No. When I dreamt of us fighting, it was because the islands were falling from the sky.
Okay. So there's a lot of different fighting going on. Love it. Love it.
I mean, we know I've died many times.
Yeah, but I don't like hearing you say it like that.
I don't like seeing it. I don't think I'm here. I mean, I'm here, but I'm not here.
And the dream resets.
Pico, this is what you lived through.
I don't think so. This isn't.
He doesn't
one of
remember
the-
this one.
This isn't a life that I remember.
He said something about the dawn earlier. I don't know what it means.
The armor. It's. And he, like, winces. I think it's.
I
of the
will
Dawn?
try to run over to some of the soldiers and see if I can look closer at their armor.
So you're running through the battlefield towards the soldiers that are being met by the various other
Yes.
T-Dragons. Okay.
Yeah, this is a dream. If I get torn apart here, I probably won't die.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a speed check.
Yep. Not great. That's a 9.
Okay. And do you have a range increase or anything like that?
I do. I have increased range.
Okay. So you're able to move fairly fast, and the dream is physical enough to where you get knocked aside multiple times. Like, you don't fall and stumble completely, but, like, while they don't seem to take full notice of you, when you start brushing past, you do fully get bodily knocked into. And you're not you're kind of a small person. You're not, like, big and bulky in your two-legged form. So, like, it's a lot of stumbling before you finally get to one of the fallen soldiers. It is kind of a mishmash of armor, but each of them wears a strapped spalder set that is intricately decorated with what seems to be, like, golden detailing on top of whatever else it's made of. There's some sort of enamel covering the material that makes the majority of the spalder itself. For those of you who are not as familiar with like European armoring style, a spalder is like a small pauldron. It's not like this giant thing that takes up the entire thing. It's smaller and easier to move in.
A little piece. Yep.
Yeah. Usually has a couple that, like, go partially down the arm, but it doesn't cover all the way to the elbow. It's a full thing. But yeah, so, like, each of them have, like, these strangely decorative, very intricate spalder sets strapped on. along with a variety of other mishmash armor. Several of them wield spears, some of them wield swords. There does seem to be a variety of them that are shooting large crossbows through the air, and you have to duck a couple of arrows
Yes,
as they
things are
land.
coming past my
Yeah.
shoulder, and
Yeah, it is.
Sybil,
It is a full battle.
Sybil, pan out. I'm going to describe something to you. Maybe you can send it to the real world. I don't know. I don't know how any of this
You
works.
want me to send this to the real
No.
world?
I want you to write something down, or at least draw it. It looks like, and I'm guessing there's like an insignia on the spalder.
Kind of, yes. It's more like decorative scrolling, but you would be able to potentially show it.
Okay.
I mean,
I might like unbuckle it
Bring
and
it
just
back.
huck it at Sybil.
Okay.
yeah, I just need to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you like struggle to unbuckle it, you have not dealt with this style before, and
Good.
you know that this is theoretically from a previous life. So
Right.
this is potentially also very, very old school.
But this is
terms
something
of
we can
technology.
research.
Yeah. So please give me a roll to attempt to figure out how to even unbuckle it from them.
12.
Okay. It's a bit of a struggle. It's a bit of a struggle, but you do manage to get it partially unstrapped, and you like squeeze the strap from underneath the body, and it's like a big bulky guy, so it's heavy to roll him around. It's like you're dealing with an actual body at this point.
Yeah.
That is how real this seems in the dream. But you manage to like pull the strap out, and you've got this like double strapped mechanism that is meant to keep the spalder on, and you had to like reach into parts of the armor to get to it.
Right.
But yeah, you can
If
tell
I'm too far
Sybil-
away, I
yeah,
might.
You can tell Sybil
like,
that
might run
very
it back.
soon it's going to reset again by the time that Kale gets it off.
Ah, shit. Yeah, right.
Just blink over here.
Can I do? All right, yeah. Can
You're
I do that in a dream?
You're gonna try and pass through a dream shadow to a different dream shadow,
Sure.
or
Why
surface
not?
rather, because you don't travel through shadows; you travel through surfaces. So you're going
This
to
is
try
all
and
dream.
pass through the surface where you are to. Okay,
Yes.
you have enough control over the dream that I will. You rolled high enough earlier that I will say you're able to manage to pass over to where Kale is. So like Sybil just kind of appears out of the ground,
Yeah.
leaving Pico back there, like struggling to not get caught back up in the dream again.
Kale starts, but then immediately shoves the spalder at you and goes,
What is this?
Write this down. Remember this insignia. It's the
I'll-
only clue we have.
Okay, I'll remember it.
So
Okay.
both of you make intellect rolls for memorizing this.
Cool.
18.
And everybody knows that it is so easy to remember what you dream about.
Nat 1.
So, Kale, you're very frazzled. You have
Yeah.
no idea
Yeah.
what it looks like other than a bunch of swirling scrolls and like enamel and gold of some kind. Maybe it's armor. You don't
Like
know.
trying to read a book in a dream, right? Like
Read a book
things
in a
just
dream in the middle
wiggle
of
and-
in
yeah.
the middle of
One
combat,
single word makes
as
sense.
like
and then
dragons
nothing else.
and
Yeah.
soldiers are coming at each other, and there's something
Little
ominous
stressed.
in the distance, and then like the barrier flashes over and up, and you can see its like faintly shimmering surface. And as you're like trying to memorize it, and Sybil, you've got a fairly decent idea of what it looks like from that 18.
0 ideas.
Yeah, like you're just like and it resets, and I think this is the first time it's reset since Kale has appeared. So you see, instead of a battlefield with dead bodies around you, a small regiment of the dragon guardians. And then around you, soldiers begin to appear and start coming out of the forest. And they stare at each other, and then they leap forward again. And please make a roll for Pico.
Right. Pico, 17.
17. Pico seems to struggle, but doesn't get caught back up in the dream again.
Are we still out on the battlefield, or did we reset?
Yeah, you're
back
still
by
out on the
Pico?
battlefield, so they are, like, clashing around you. And you get knocked into a couple of times.
I hate this. This is not okay. Do you want to keep doing this? Because I'm over this so much.
Just hop on, and I will try to turn into my dragon form and dash back to where Pico is.
This isn't your dream.
Interesting.
You say hop on.
I just start running.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
this isn't really your dream. You don't
Yeah.
have full control over it. Like,
No.
Sybil is dreams. Sybil has control over
Right, yeah.
dreams, and thus has a little bit more control over what she can do in them.
So I go hop on,
ahead.
and then I make
So,
kind
yeah,
of dragony
yes.
hands.
Yeah, so go
And then I
ahead
just
and give
stand
me a
there.
roll. Give me a roll. And call
Good.
odds or evens.
Good.
I already rolled, so
Oh,
I will roll again.
Yeah, roll again, call odds or evens.
Evens. That is 17, so no.
Yeah, so, like,
Yeah, I stand there, and I go, I'm let's-
just gonna. Let's.
Yeah.
Can I?
Can't we just run?
Oh, I was just gonna wake us up.
Oh, okay.
yeah, go
Like-
ahead and roll to wake up.
I gotta roll to wake up. This is awful.
Well, you can go out. You can leave. It's, can you get Kale out, and can you manage to force Pico awake when you still don't know why he's suddenly sleeping in his dragon form and managing to dream?
I fear the answer is no, because I rolled a nat one.
So, like,
Are we trapped in the dream? Oh my god.
So-
are,
amazing.
bye!
yeah, so as
cool.
you're just like, okay, I've got an idea of what this looks like. This is weird. It just keeps resetting. It would be
Good.
easier to just talk to
Interesting.
them when we're not, like, surrounded by all of this. So
Amazing.
you're just like, okay,
Peace out.
and you're like peacing out, you're out, and then, like, you come to, and you're still holding the unconscious, like, sleeping Pico in your arms, and you go solid again, and Kale is, like, laid out on
Now
the deck.
Kale's asleep. Perfect. I love this.
And
Good.
Kale, for yourself, please roll me a die.
That one?
Are you kidding?
Oh no!
You do transform back into the dragon form, the guardian form that you were
Oh.
wanting to.
Oh, interesting.
And you find yourself
On the deck?
on
A lot of nat ones,
No.
y'all.
on that mountainous side, that mountainside at the edge of the forest, and the enemy is coming. The enemy is coming, and
Oh,
they
it's time to fight.
I'm so
It's-
sorry.
I
about
will
this.
stand with my companions and we will fight and die.
you will stand with your companions. You will fight, and you will prevent
I-
them from
listen,
freeing.
I don't run anymore. That's not a thing I do in this life.
Yeah,
So I
and-
am standing
and
and
you will
fighting.
prevent them from freeing the force that they intend to.
Oh.
In the
Cool.
real world, you hear Kale kind of growl to themselves, and that kind of dragonic scale starts creeping up their arms from their hands. They haven't fully transformed yet, but it looks like it's slowly starting to happen. And they are fast asleep.
They're not.
What do you do?
I don't know. I brought them in and they didn't come back out with me when I left, I think. I don't know how this works.
Are they like actively turning into a dragon right now?
Slowly. Very slowly.
I mean, this is like Pico was just a teapot, and then they went to sleep, and they're this.
We'll deal with that in a minute.
Can you wake them
Fong
up?
is still nearby, by the way. This all took all of like 3 minutes.
What's happening in the dream? What's going on?
I think a thing that you would have noticed. I think Sybil was crying the entire time she was in there, just because it's like an abject like war scene going on. Like it's so like white eyes and just tears happening the entire time she's been under. And she's just like, just dragon stuff, dragony stuff. I don't. It was bad. A lot of dead people there.
So it's a nightmare.
I don't know. It keeps resetting. It keeps starting over. There's a barrier. Dreamcraft.
If you hadn't brought it up, Bob would have been like, "Can't you like make the dreams visible or something?"
Yes, I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna bring the pauldron or whatever. Pauldron.
Wool.
Okay, sure.
The Spalder.
Spalder.
Yeah.
The Balder.
The Balder.
Bring Balder out of the dream.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put Balder into the dream. Who else would like to go into the nightmare? Anyone?
Not me.
Baron? Fong? No? Okay. Yeah, I have Dreamcraft.
So while all this is happening, what are you doing, Fong?
So Fong, for a moment, when he had realized there was a bubble of I can hear a little bit and I can't hear as well this side, he was playing with that a little bit, just going forward and back and just like experimenting with like yelling.
Okay.
But I guess like realizing that there's trouble, he would have like scrambled over and just kind of paid attention to see if there's anything he could do. He doesn't know anything about dreams.
Okay.
So
the trouble necessarily would be first signs would be Kale passed out. So that's probably where you are kneeling next to Kale. And like standing slightly over you is Sybil like concentrating on doing this thing now.
And weeping.
You just because it's flavor. There is an almost there is a visible bubble, but it looks like an actual like soap bubble around me. So it's almost like just like an invisible thing. There's like a there's like a sheen to it that you do see.
That's awesome.
Are you, Fong, any chance you know how to like wake people up from dreams?
Yeah, let me get some water.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, sure. We can
Oh, I've got some. I pull out a bottle of water that I carry with me.
Water.
I thought you were going to throw rum on me.
No, it's actual water.
Reasonable.
I need actual water for my shield, okay? I actually carry water with me.
Oh. Yeah, I would just try to splash on face.
For Kale?
Yeah.
Okay. Kale, roll me odds or evens.
Oh, Lord.
Odds. 18. Nope.
So, like, you splash this water in Kale's face, and, like, they kind of turn over and they snarl a little bit, and you can see the start of the fangs.
That didn't work.
No, it did not.
Sybil, you said there was... What?
It was a war. It was a battle. Everybody was dying. There were a bunch of dragons that looked like Kale. They were dying. It was really awful. And every time that Pico thought about things, he looked like he was in pain. His voice is so deep. He is a very large dragon, and it was very scary. Okay.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna grab whoever of the crew is nearby. I need you to bring me as much loose rope as we possibly can. ASAP, please.
We have a lot. Okay. And random crew member C runs off.
They're not gonna fight us. They're in a dream.
We don't. They're turning into a dragon.
Yeah, so Pico's
And
here
they are
too.
currently in a dream, a nightmare, not even a dream, a nightmare about a war. I want to make sure that we have a ship.
So
That's
if you're ready
We
for
are
a
on
little bit of Uncanny Valley, the sleeve where it's like billowing out the short sleeve over Kale's shoulder and arm. Now, when Kale turns into a dragon normally, it's in a single round. It takes a couple of seconds. This is happening
Right.
over the course of a couple of minutes. So
Yes.
you're getting to see it slow mode. And when Kale turns into a dragon, the clothes get absorbed into the dragon
Oh.
form
icky. No.
instead of like bursting off like it did the first couple of times when Kale didn't have control over it. So like
Right.
you can see sleeve and then you can see where it starts to merge with the scale because the like
The pattern
scales-
is, like,
the scale
turning
pattern is
green.
all the way up to here. So like you can see the billowy sleeve like poofed out a little bit and merging into the scales on the arm.
All right. That's a problem.
I don't know that I can wake them up. This isn't a thing that I do. I'm good at putting people to sleep. I typically don't put our friends to sleep.
Sorry, out of character. Did Sybil show me the boulder?
Spalder?
Spalder.
Did you finish creating it while
Like, did you
they
actually
were trying to
create
get
it?
water?
I don't know that yeah, I think she finished it, and there's just a thing like
Laying on
actually no,
on
I
the
think
deck?
she tried because she was like gonna put it in her hand, but she's holding
Pico.
Pico like a baby.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
So she didn't end
holding
up
a
creating the
dragon.
Spalder?
No, she was like, well, I can't put him down. He's just a little guy.
He is just a little guy.
He's just a little guy and he talks like this all the time when he's actually in the little guy form. He just has a little guy voice. Yeah.
He's very hot. I am holding a small baby dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, she didn't make it.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
in that case, yeah, I'm
Fang, you
I'm waiting
said
for
that you
the-
were like just going to splash Kale with water.
Yeah.
Are you making any other attempt? Are you like what are you doing to attempt to help, and how urgent would you consider it because you're seeing them gradually turn into a dragon in front of you?
Look, he tries the water. It doesn't work. It feels like it made things worse. He's gonna run to get Corey because Corey knows what to do, and get Baron because we need
Good.
all hands on deck.
Okay. So like you're just like I'm gonna get help and then run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, people more qualified.
Okay. So as you guys are doing this and trying to figure out what the fuck to do, the like deckhand, like crew member C, whatever, just like runs over like with a giant armful of spare rope. Some of it is thin, some of it is like giant.
That feels really
Go ahead.
No, it's just rude that you're tying up our friend. That's all.
That is turning into a dragon on a small boat. I'm going to tie Kale down.
Okay.
In such a way that there is still enough slack to accommodate for their size.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hold on to one of the things so that if there's ever any movement, I can just pull and tighten everything.
Okay.
not-
So, as you're doing so, please make we'll call it speed based because it has to do with like dexterity and reflexes, check to try
Good to know.
and tie Kale up.
Shibari is a speed task.
I am trained in sailing. I don't
Yes,
know,
which would
actually.
ease it by
I
one
don't know.
because there's a lot of like tying things down and making things secure while on a boat.
Ball's good with
Yeah.
ropes.
I assume I can't retroactively use my understanding to give myself an asset on this interaction. No. Well, then that's all I've got. All
Okay.
right.
And Fang, you find Corey
So that-
like up by the helmsman, so at the back of the boat.
I need your help.
Talking to him about like, okay, yeah, we need to make sure that we make this port, but we need to make it as fast as possible. Like, and they are making the executive decision to start veering over into the current.
You know what Fong's really good at, though, is tangling people up in ropes.
Yeah. So as you come running up, Varen, you would probably notice Fong like rushing up to you first, and then Corey is just like, "Okay, I'll be right back," and like,
please.
Okay. All right. And like just follows you, like has no idea what's going on.
That is,
What's going on? What's going on, Fong?
And like he, like just subtly asks you, "Did you like rip the rope net?"
No, we'll deal with that another time. There's dream stuff happening. Kale isn't waking up. I splashed water on their face, and it made things worse. They're turning into a dragon very slowly.
Usually it's faster. Do they not want to be a dragon now? And like he's even more confused now, but like following you at a quick pace.
Yeah. So look, I know I'm new, so I don't know how things work normally, but I'd say everyone else is also kind of freaking out too, and so I think this is a normal reaction to freaking out things.
Yeah, like looks at you, Varen, looks at you, Fong. Yeah, Kale turns into a dragon sometimes. And like just kind of shrugs their shoulders, but due to your concern, does kind of jog fast to get there a little faster. What was your roll, Joel?
15.
15. Yeah, so you get like you're slowly starting to get the ropes like around Kale, and it's a weird like loose type of wrap because of how big Kale gets. So it just like looks there like there's loose loops of it around where Kale currently is.
Slow acting trap.
Yeah. Like very, very slow. Sybil?
Sybil is just holding Pico like a baby. It's just like I can't put Pico down.
He's a good boy.
I can't wake up Kale.
Yeah. And being judgy at Ball for trying to tie up a friend.
They are our friends. They are not a threat, and it's incredibly loose. I don't know what the plan was.
You've killed our party members before. This is not. We don't know what.
And you guys walk up as Bal is saying, "You've killed our party members before."
I feel like
we don't know what these powers are able to do. All right.
What?
This is safe.
I just feel like maybe waking them up is the move instead of tying them up.
You're the dream person. Wake them up then.
I tried. I don't know how.
Corey, like, listening to all of this, just kind of sighs at Ball, leans over and slaps Kale across the face. Go ahead and make another roll to attempt to wake up.
Odd.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
No. It's 50-50. I don't know how I am blowing this every single time.
You keep alternating.
Yeah,
it's not working.
It's so weird because statistically speaking, you should win the coin toss by now.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I'm really good at not.
Speaking of coin toss, Fawn, would you like to attempt to influence fate?
Yeah, I would love to.
What?
Make a roll for make a roll for Kale.
What can you do here?
What?
Hello?
Wait, can I use? Hang on. I was gonna save this for a net, but this is more pressing.
No, for sure.
Someone
Killing
gave me a nat 20, and so I want to use that
I'm gonna waste it on this. It's 50-50.
Yeah. You're gonna use it?
Yes, I want to use it.
Yeah. So you're just like. Wait, you killed someone? What? And then, like, you see Corey just lean down and slap Kale, and Kale just kind of flops over to the other side, and you're just like, what? is going on? And then you're just like, this shouldn't be happening. And then it's not, because you have influenced the odds. And Kale just kind of rolls over again, waking up, and like the change recedes back to the way that Kale normally is.
Hi. Hello. Are you okay?
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Oh my
Are
god.
you
I'm
trying
so
to
sorry.
tell us?
I'm on the ship. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In your arms, Pico also kind of groans, shifts, and starts to wake.
Okay. It's not that was just a dream. That was a dream? Right. That was a dream. Yes, I was dreaming. I was not actually dying. Good to know.
I'm so sorry. That I'll put that on the list of things to ask for permission for if you want to join a dream, I guess.
Right. Pico? Pico, are you awake?
Here. Just hands over a little dragon.
What? Am I awake now?
Oh, I think so.
What was that?
Upsetting.
Don't know. But I'm sorry that you had to live through it. I assume that was one of your memories. I don't remember it being one of mine.
I don't solidly remember it. What happened? How do I have a headache? I shouldn't be able to even feel pain.
Or dream?
I don't dream.
I would like to be making the Spalder while this is happening, now that her hands are free.
Okay.
Just she like pulls out of absolutely no, like stares down at her hands for a couple of seconds, and then just like one of these things just starts to appear inside of her hand.
Are using Dreamcraft, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, while Kale is like sitting up and you've got Pico, and Pico is very confused, does not remember the dream, somehow has a headache even though he shouldn't be able to feel pain because he's copper.
He doesn't have a head.
Yeah, he's copper. He is essentially
Doesn't have a head.
He is essentially a living,
No.
moving statue. So he should not be able to feel pain or sleep or dream. When he rests, he goes into the tea kettle form, but that's not sleeping per se.
Oh man.
And as all of this is happening, and you've got Pico, and Pico's just very confused, Sybil crafts that Spalder that you're already starting to forget because you rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even remember that it was there.
This, Pico, or actually anybody, does this look familiar to anyone?
All of
Doesn't
you are
it?
there. Pico does not remember the dream and just kind of looks at it and squints a little bit and goes,
I go to
"It's
sit up.
a piece of armor?"
And then I'm tied down, so I like
It's just-
trip on my own bindings
It's like,
all over again.
yeah, they are so loose because of how
Yeah.
small your normal form is versus how
Right.
big your like guardian form is. So it just kind of flops into your lap.
You're trapped in a net.
Cool. What is with the rope?
Oh, you were turning into a dragon, and since you were dreaming about war and death and murder, I figured
Oh.
I'd tie you down just in case.
I don't think it's murder. If
Very
it's war.
smart.
Thank you.
That's very smart.
Maybe.
So
Irrelevant.
is
What is
anyone
that,
else
Sybil?
looking at the Spalder?
I am.
Okay.
I have a
So
nat 20 banked, so I want to nat
Please.
20 this.
okay. All right. So certain people will have only had the opportunity to encounter certain aspects of this. So different
correct.
people will get different information based off of their successes.
Yes.
Great.
You vaguely recognize it. And I am going to send where you recognize it into chat because you have not discussed this part of your backstory with the rest of the group.
Oh,
Is anyone else rolling?
You know what? I'm going to use.
I feel like-
because I have 2 banked nat 20s. I want to use one of them.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm just rolling. I rolled a 16. I don't know if that helps.
I tend to use my nat 20s really quickly because they give us a lot
Unless you
of.
forget about them, right?
I usually,
Yeah,
I forgot,
I
but I
still
feel like I
have
didn't
another
really
one.
roll last time either. So.
I still have another one in reflections too, so
Nice.
I don't like to keep them. But also, what part of my backstory?
I have all
So
banked,
who?
but I don't want to.
So we've got also Varen rolling.
Using a nat 20, yeah.
Using a nat
Ooh.
20. You are not super familiar with it,
Oh,
but you do know that sometimes, like, stylized armor like this is uncovered in digs, like, either found in caves or buried or digging for architectural purposes in the
ancient
southern
armor.
edge of Polierna.
Interesting.
Huh.
Is anyone else?
I rolled an 11.
You rolled an 11.
I rolled a 16.
16.
I don't know if that's helpful.
You got a 5?
You rolled a 5?
Yeah. Nice.
And no one's given Fong a nat 20 yet, right?
Fong can also
I
help.
used it on the last thing. So.
Yeah.
Right,
What
you
you did.
did. You did. Okay, so it's vaguely familiar, Fong. You're not sure what from. We got a 16 from Kale.
Yep.
You saw a bunch of them in this stream recently.
I feel like the whole dream is fading, and that's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, you vividly,
Yeah.
like, it was really important, and you saw a bunch of them there. And Sybil, you rolled a what?
11.
11. It's familiar-ish,
Exists.
possibly just from the dream. You're not sure. It's very old. You studied anthropology more than archaeology, so the chances of having encountered it are fairly low.
What's a problem?
What is the problem? I mean, like, all of this is a problem, but this is a problem?
No, yeah. The thing.
Say more words, please.
I don't know what the armor thing that you just showed us is a problem.
Yes. Why is it a problem?
I don't want to talk about it.
So helpful. So helpful.
I'll
Can
say
you
this.
though?
From the dream, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, so I've sort of seen it
Okay.
before
Okay. Great.
in a bad place.
Yeah.
Where?
And you'll notice that the 2 nat 20s are the only ones that have actively seen it in person before.
Yeah.
Great.
Home.
Home.
Where you've been very unwilling to tell us where home is for you, Paul.
Yup.
Home is here.
No. Home is away.
North.
Yep. So
Are you
Oh,
from
having-
Islandus?
no. Well, I'm not proud of my past. I'm from a place that suffered the fate that Eisenbridge is supposed to have, the one that we prevented. And the person that I saw that interacted with my family was wearing it.
So this is someone from Islandus.
Potentially,
But this was
It's
like
either-
thousands of years ago.
right? That's why it can't possibly be the same thing. Obviously.
I mean,
Just forget everything I just said, please.
we have lived many lives, so it's likely that it happened in one of our past lives.
With that, in addition to where you saw that, you vaguely remember that person talking about being one of the many petals, like flower petals.
I don't fucking know what that means. All right, I feel like this is becoming a little too personal. So I think
Really?
I think I need to.
Ball. And I'll put a hand on Ball. I'm still sitting down, so I'll put hand on like Ball's knee and be like, "For me, it would be very helpful."
Okay, well, like if you okay, fine. Remember that lie that I said to be able to convince the people of Helios that I was one of them?
Or was that a lie? I thought you were.
No, that was the truth. That's actually
Oh.
who I am. I'm the son of a high-ranking political person of the back there. Hello.
So all of the times that you were mean to me because of my family, you know what?
I left my family when I was 15 and I started sailing. I am not proud of my heritage or what they stand for, if that helps any. If it was my family, I would have also shat on them. However, the individual in question was the person that came into our estate to essentially assist in the subjugation of my people. All those many years ago.
What was the name of this city?
My city? My home? Venedivus?
Oh. You never mentioned you were. I imagine that's why you didn't mention you were from Venedivus.
Fang would know that Venedivus is a large island, not quite city-state anymore, but used to be a city-state off the coast of Islanus.
Wow.
Right. And while we're coming clean, that's also where I found this, and I put out the amplifier. That's where I saw this for the first time. My family was looking for it.
For materials to make it.
For materials to make it. I mean, that's what I said from the beginning.
And with that wonderful reveal, let's go ahead and call that as the end of session for today.
Amazing.
We
I
are
have
just about time.
questions.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've got questions. We've all got questions.
Amazing.
Yeah. It will also give Joel some time to plan out what they want to reveal.
Honestly, with Kale being like, for me, anything they ask is fair game.
Aww.
Val doesn't mess around when it comes to Kale. Sybil,
Aww.
yes. Kale, no.
Jeez. All right. So thank you so much. That was a wonderful session. I really appreciate all of you, as always. Let's go ahead and go in reverse this time, starting with Amanda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda. You, she, her pronouns. You can find me everywhere. Say hello, Milo.
Oh,
Say hello, Milo.
so good.
You can find me everywhere at Pandacabra, especially on Blue Sky. I have been Baron Lek using she, her pronouns, the weird adept who can siphon power and does weird stuff with shadow magic. You can catch me here every other Sunday, and then every other Friday, I am also here on Altered Echo Archives playing Rosa and Thorn. As part of the Once Upon a Reflection campaign. So yeah, feel free to check those out. Feel free to stop by my Blue Sky and say hello. My links are in the chat.
Yeah. Matt, would you be so kind as to try and copy and paste that over into the Moonbeam chat for me?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And our wonderful artist, excuse me, our wonderful artist Alina, as I choke on air.
Hey everybody, I am Alina Pete. I have been playing Kale. We are both they, them. You can catch me every other Friday on this channel where I will be playing Vrak in our Reflections game. I am an idiot with a guitar. It's a lot of fun. You can also catch me this coming Tuesday on my channel, Where Geek Comics, where we'll be playing our 5e game Trash Heroes, where we're a bunch of idiots who climbed out of a trash heap and we're trying to save the world. It's not going well. And then in real life, you can find me at alenapete.com, and I should have a link up on there for the TED Talk I will be giving at the start of next month.
That's
So
You're doing what?
I'm giving a TED Talk about comics, baby.
That's
Damn,
so
that is
cool.
so fucking
That's-
cool.
Right?
That's so fucking
want
cool.
the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
So, if you are in the Vancouver Island area on May 2nd, you can come to Royal Roads University and watch me give a talk. It also includes like a meal, so we'll have like a cool hangout outdoors activity section, and then I'll talk to you. It's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But if you're not in that area, it will be up online, I think, a week or two after the event. So I'll post links.
so
I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely. Definitely post links. That's so fucking cool. That's
Anyway,
so
welcome to my
fucking
TED
cool.
Talk.
Yeah. Damn.
It's gonna be real. Oh my god.
Can't wait for every sentence starts with, and like I said on my TED Talk.
Hey, listen, like I said on my TED Talk,
Even if it isn't. what
Like
was
I
said in
said
the
on
TED
my
Talk.
TED Talk.
they'll be like, "Where should we go for dinner tonight?" I'll be like, "Well, you know,
According to my TED Talk.
here's my TED Talk."
Jeez. So fucking cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, definitely. Maggie.
Great, cool. Yeah, make me go after that. That's what I want.
Sorry.
What's up? My name's Maggie. I don't do fucking anything because I'm
You're
in
in
grad
school,
school in
yeah.
real life. And I'm mostly doing that.
You're in school.
Uh,
Being in school is hard. That is a
I-
full-time job.
Yeah, which is why I made an entire character about running
Also,
away
just
from school.
living through
Oh.
this whole situation is a full-time job.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I do things, which is infrequent, I do tend to post it on my socials, and all my socials are pinned in the chat, so you can find me there. But I'm online,
Okay.
mostly yelling at people who like AI.
Yeah, AI
That's what I
sucks. Don't use
spend my
it.
time these days.
AI
Bullying
sucks.
people.
I come
Use it.
across Maggie's
Worst.
arguments.
I don't wanna talk about it.
On TikTok every once in a while, and it's the funniest shit.
All right.
There
All
we
right,
go.
cool.
It's my TED Talk. I'll put the link.
Follow the link in chat. But yes, Joel.
Hello. I am Joel. I played Baldur Mistforge today. Nope, I played Baldur Mistforge today.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I play her every other week as well on Sundays.
Okay.
Apart from that, I play Senor Fluffington, the Witchwawa on
Senor
our
Fluffington.
We love Senior Fluffington.
yes every other Friday. I also sometimes might play Little Hope, the fully grown-ass adult man princess. With
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Go on.
with the power of love.
Yeah.
I need to watch that section.
We did a really fun one, kind of like
That
one
sounds amazing.
off tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically played like Chapel Roan's like night persona, essentially.
And Joel played like
Amazing.
big buff burly gangster in a princess dress with the power of a sailor senshi.
Love it.
Alina, I think
Incredible.
Ichiban, but in like a cute, super girly dress.
Oh,
and,
I
like,
love it.
Fairy fire type glitter powers.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that right now. I know what I'm doing for the rest of the afternoon.
It was such a fun
It was so
session.
stupid. It was so stupid.
My
I loved
God.
it.
We lost.
But yeah, outside of that,
Oh, did we lose Matt?
We did, in fact.
Oh,
He's frozen.
oh no.
with
You know
a
what?
very
He's
charismatic
frozen
grin.
in a great position.
Yeah,
So-
that is a great expression.
I know that is an amazing
Yes.
profile.
Outside of that, I am a writer. You can find my writings on Patreon for the most part. Some of it also is on my AO3. I keep saying that I have plans to do other things, but really, they are more like concepts of plans
Yeah.
than anything else.
Ideas of concepts of plans.
Yeah.
Real.
It's like it'll happen eventually, But yeah, that's all for me. I'm gonna keep talking until Matt comes back or leaves completely. Well, actually, you can find Matt. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
There he
no.
goes.
Oh no!
Matt's
Oh no!
gone.
All right. Well,
Come back.
you can't find him anymore. He's gone.
Matt, come back.
Fingers crossed. Come on, Matt.
Yeah, I think his internet
Oh, hey,
dropped.
I'm
so-
still Alina,
Aw.
and Varen is still Varen, but like everyone else is. We're
I'm
good.
fine. I'm
Okay.
fine.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm
I
not
guess
even in the picture anymore.
for Matt, Matt is improv and RPG on Instagram and YouTube. Does great beginner and like just general concept talks on TTRPG, like playing and GMing. Has a bunch of good stuff that you should totally go check out and etc. And you can't see me or Joel solidly right now because of how the windows rearranged when Matt dropped. But it's Evie talking at you.
Do follow him on TikTok because
Yeah.
his TikToks
Oh, yeah.
actually show up on my
His
on my
TikToks are
For You page
good.
every
Yeah,
once in a
good.
while.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's
Good
really
TikToks,
advice.
yeah, good TikToks, good Instas, good YouTube. Follow the YouTube especially.
Very pro.
So longer form videos on like tips and tricks and different ideas and stuff. It's all very good stuff. Matt also both GMs and plays in a variety of games. I don't know what he's doing soon because he's not here to tell us himself. But he was recently last night on one of the Logomancy games and shows up in a variety of places. We love Logomancy here. Very cool people. But yeah, so since I don't think that he's going to be coming back because I think his internet just like fully just crapped out.
Yeah, I don't see anything from him on the Discord.
Yeah, follow follow him on the various socials and he'll tell you more about it next time. I'm Evie, the Disaster GM. Pronouns are she, they, or any. I'm the director of Altered Oak Archives and our primary GM. You can normally find me here on every other Sunday for Empyrean Wilds. You can kind of see me in Joel's area. You can normally find me here for Empyrean Wilds every other Sunday, and for Once Upon a Reflection every other Friday. So this coming Friday will be Once Upon a Reflection, and this coming Saturday, the day after our next Once Upon a Reflection, I will also be on Fuzka's channel. Shout out Fuzka, so Fuzka, in a short run campaign as Jatziri, playing a little bit of D&D. But yeah, we love Fuzka. Very good group. That like the whole concept of that campaign is really fun, and we are very excited. Amazing cast. Oh, I love all the people in it. So you should totally come check us out next Saturday evening at I think 8 or 8:30 or something. I don't remember the exact time on Fuzka's channel. Go follow so that you can be notified when it goes live. But yeah, that's generally where you're going to be able to find me, or on our Discord. Join if you haven't. But yeah, so we're going to call it there, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know if you can see me. Bye.
You can see.